So you asked me that it's a disputed. Disputed, what do you mean disputed? First of all, let me tell you there's no dispute. It is the, you know, dispute which is being created. If you, as a sense reason, if you take it this way, first of all, this entire region, this India, which, in ancient language, I mean, in the factual, it's Bharat. It starts right from, people say that it's the RSS map, but I don't call it RSS map. Why should we call it RSS? It's a fact, it's a reality. If you go some decades back, you see how there were, small regions created out of this bar. Right from this, the recent history, Afghanistan, the Kandahar, which is named after Gandhar, the queen of Korwas. Uh, Fact remains that this dispute is not a dispute, first of all, but, according to me. If you, see the sequence of events, uh, if we go right from 1528, in 1528, first of all, the cruel emperor, the Mughal emperor Babur, who, forcibly destroyed the structure, Ram temple, and he built a mosque over it. That is the dispute. Otherwise, we the common term these days, all across the country, all across the globe, rather I should call it. People say Ram Janambhumi Vivad. What Vivad? Vivad is that the mosque was built. That should be the topic of debate. Anyway, now let's see. We go to the sequence of events right from 1528. In 1853, the first ever recorded violent clashes broke out there in the Ajodhya, wherein Hindus went to claiming that this place belongs to us, and Muslims, I mean, they were the rulers those days, and they certainly had a short memory saying, "Nahi, this belongs to them." So thereafter, in 1859, the country was ruled by the English people. The Britishers were the rulers. In the same year, in 1859, Britishers called both the communities, Hindus and Muslims, together, and they played a very smart trick. First of all, the Britishers permitted the core inner side of the Ram Janmabhoomi, Ajodhya. They permitted Muslims to perform their namaz, pray, and do their religious practices within that core side of it. And the external part, outside the core side area, the external part was permitted for Hindus, that Hindus could pray, offer their, according to the rituals, they can, go and do bhajans, kirtans in the outside of it. But certainly, this formula would not go long, as everybody could, as a typical Indian, how is it possible? Thereafter, it didn't stop there only. Certainly, they were, as everybody is of same opinion, I believe, out here. In 1949, thereafter, after I think 38 or 37 years, after 37 years, the government proclaimed that the inside, the site as went on the dispute, because both the parties went to the courts. Both the parties were claiming that this the Muslims had a say that this belongs to the Babur had constructed the structure. Now it is a Babri Masjid, and Hindus certainly would claim that's a Ram temple, and Hindus had a factual claim which we must accept. Thereafter, the government locked the area because it was again in 1949. It was observed rather They were the ideals of Lord Rama found within the premise, and dispute was taken on the higher degree, and then the government, the particularly UP government, went to lock the area. Thereafter the actual dispute started. In 1984, when VHP went to perform the puja and claimed that this place literally belongs to Hindus, and VHP not only started praying and claiming the area, they went with certain in their typical language Yojna Bad program to acquire the entire place. In same 1984, I would like to bring one fact out here, which very few people know in this entire nation. In the Maybe in the absence of media those days in 1984, even I was a kid those days, but I still remember it. See the reflection of this. VHP formed a committee out here. Vishwa Hindu Parishad formed a committee which was called under the leadership of even Advani ji was involved, this Sadhvi Uma Bharti ji, Murli Manohar Joshi ji, they started talking about this, and they brought it into the limelight of the entire nation. The reflection of this in Ayodhya, VHP is claiming the Ram Janmabhoomi. In same year, hundreds of villages were looted and burned down in Kashmir Valley, but it didn't came into the records, which I in the beginning only said. Maybe in the absence, we had no social media, we had no much of the electronic media. All we had is Doordarshan and All India Radio those days. Post 1984, in 1986, Muslims formed a committee called Babri Masjid Action Committee. And in 86, again, there were clashes between the two communities in Ayodhya and UP. See the reflection of it. Again in 1986, the entire valley went on particularly, I should not call it entire valley. District Anantnag, which certainly in the valley has Hindu domination. They were majority of the landlords of the Kashmir belonged to Hindus, belonged to this district Anantnag. All the ancient temples were targeted. Hindu villages were burned. Few of the villages like Dhanau, the Lukbhavan, many more, Ranipura, this Verinag, many Fatehpur, many villages in Anantnag were looted, burned. Hindus were, taken on, literally attacked. In 1986 again, post this. Now, thereafter, although it didn't came into the forefront, it came to the limelight. In 1989, when VHP laid the foundation stone, now see the irony. The moment they laid the foundation stone at Ram Janmabhoomi, Ayodhya, in 1989, the entire valley, the entire Hindu community in valley were taken on rampage, task. They were shunned away, targeted, looted, burned, killed, raped, what not. And so much so, within 2 to 3 months, the entire valley, almost 5 lakh Kashmiri Hindus had to leave the valley. They were still refugees. They are refugees living in Jammu camps, Delhi, wherever, but not allowed to live in their own inhabitant native places in valley. This is till 1989. Now see, the game didn't stop here only. In 1992, the day 6 December 1992, when the illegal structure which Babur had built was demolished by car sevaks, and everybody knows the administration played a accurate role to stop the violence and whatever within the frame of law, and literally it was controlled. But remember, post this 6 December 1992, the entire valley was taken on task. Thousands of the ancient Hindu temples were burned down. The entire structures, Hindu houses, which were left there because the people, those Hindus, they had already left this place. Their buildings were bulldozed. I remember my own, I was a 12-year-old kid in 1989, and I was born and brought up in the house. When I went there in 2000, I couldn't even recognize where the house was. My own house was, because it was bulldozed to this extent that not even the foundation was left there. The stones, the concrete structure, everything was demolished. Huge temples, the ancient, monuments, everything was bulldozed post this. All this didn't care. I am saying these are the always reactions seen in the valley. Even today, I am afraid when this heat is on. I hope everything goes well. The reaction is always seen there. There is reaction to a massive level. Fundamentalism ignites like anything. The rumor, the kind of vague news is started spreading in Kashmir. So we must, it's high time, take a control of it. And with this, I would again request that J&K, since it's a governor rule this time, should take precautionary measures, and the people, those brethren living out there, must be given full protection. At least their lives should be saved, because property, the immovable property is always not there. Hindu houses are destroyed. All is that lands left. Lands also they have started encroaching, and that's the later part. Anyway, that's it. That this is all what I wanted to say on this issue. Rest, Mr. Manoj is there, Amit is there. They could put a light on it. Thank you.